Good evening, everybody. I hope you are well and safe and enjoying the Christmas festivities as they fastly approach us. Now, this evening we have a lovely evening planned for you on our Monday night Natter. We are going to be celebrating the Stockist launch of our brand new Woodware collection. Now, did you all tune in and see the shows over the weekend? Our lovely Francoise was on Hobby Maker on Saturday and brought you some incredible inspiration with her brand new celebration collection. And this evening we are picking up that baton and we're going to continue celebrating this collection with you all. Hopefully bringing you a bit more inspiration as well, sharing with you a few more samples and giving you the all-important list of where you're going to be able to track down these products as of 10 a.m. tomorrow morning when they become available from our stockists all around the world. So if you haven't already, grab a pen and paper and we'll tell you shortly where you're going to be able to get these goodies from if you haven't already ordered them from the Hobby Maker shows. Now, as always, if you are joining us, please do let us know that you can hear us and you can see us. It's also vital that we know this because I have to tell you every week, we could just be sat in a little room talking to ourselves, couldn't we? It's happened before, it will happen again, I'm sure. Now, as always, I am not here on my own. We have a very special hostage over in Hostage Corner. So let's go say good evening to Peter. The cameras still haven't changed back, so I'll see if I can get the right button.
Have we got the right button?
I've got the right button. Yeah, they've got you.
We had tech issues before, as we always seem to do now. Hello, I hope we're all okay. Hope we had a good day and whatever else.
And whatever else. That's not quite the care and consideration
festive,
we should be giving to our crafting community.
Up or something.
Festive.
This is why I don't do the camera and he does.
Probably for the best. Probably for the best. So you've said your hellos, have you?
I'm all done.
You've
Debbie's
checked
done.
in with the world.
Debbie, yeah.
Debbie's
Debbie is
done.
out.
Debbie's done for the evening, and that is it. That's the hard work done from Hostage Corner.
Your job is safe, James.
You can have it, I don't mind. Good evening, Alison. Good evening, Kim. Good evening, Sheila, Joyce, Kathleen, Sue, Kim, Hadrian's Hobbies. Lovely to have you with us as always. Thank you for joining us. Good evening, Barbara, Tracy, Sharon, May. There's lots of you. Thank you very much. Deborah, Sue, Pauline, Kim, and Angela. Thank you so much all for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. Especially as we do get this close to Christmas. I know lots of other things kind of creep in, don't they? The Christmas movies are on the telly, and then family nights out and works do's and Christmas parties in general creep on in. So it's lovely to have you here with us. So this evening, as I mentioned, we are celebrating the launch of our brand new Woodware collection that as of 10 a.m. tomorrow morning is going to be available at a very long list of stockists. Very long list. I'll read it to you in a moment, but shall we jump on over and have a little look at what this collection is first? Because you might have missed it. If you missed last week's sneaky peek and you missed the shows, because we understand Christmas is the time for busyness, you might have missed all of this and you might not have a clue what I'm on about. So shall we take a little look through it first, and then I'll tell you where you'll be able to track it down as of tomorrow at 10 a.m. So let's have a little look, shall we? So Francoise has designed for us 8 incredible A6 stamps, and I'm going to start off with our character stamps because these are really, to me, the most adorable characters I feel I've personally ever seen. And as you can see, there is 6 of them. I'm going to actually move our dear Crazy Bird up there, which I believe last week Pete picked the winning name to be Maisie. Was it Maisie the Crazy? Something
Crazy
like that.
Maisie,
Crazy Maisie.
Yeah,
there was a Maisie in there somewhere because I like the
Maisie.
name Maisie. Crazy Maisie
there.
won last week. But it is, of course, the official name is Crazy Bird. So if you are looking for these tomorrow, we have got Tony the Toucan, Crazy Bird, and then I'm going to have to check the others from my memory. Party Animal is our lovely sloth hanging here in the tree. Then we've got Eduardo the elephant. I love Eduardo. I think that one's lovely. He's genuinely, I believe, my fave. So much fun. And then we have got our lovely chameleon, which is called Carlos. Carlos the chameleon. And then lastly, we've got our little fishy, which is called Birthday Fish. And this collection, as you can see, is truly all about celebrations. So throughout the set here, and there is a couple more I'm going to share with you in just a sec, but throughout this kind of portion of the collection, you're going to see lots of birthday cakes, lots of presents, lots of party popper elements, lots of splats and confettis, and then of course lots of sentiment stamps as well. And what I love about this collection is the way that Francoise has made all of your fonts, all of your sentiments, all have the same matching font and kind of the same sizes. So you could quite easily use the happy birthday from this set with Make a Wish, It's Your Day, and then keep swimming to tie it into the fishy down here. So that would all work together all throughout your project. So if you're looking at this and thinking, well, could I stamp my gift tags? Could I stamp my envelopes? Could I do the outside of my card? Could I do the inside of my card? Have everything coordinate throughout? Then absolutely you could. Also with a collection like this, I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking at this and thinking storybooks, journals, memory albums, having that look, that style, that theme, that Francoise-ness, which again is just a new word to add to your dictionaries, running through it. Her design style is what I mean. Her je ne sais quoi, which is probably pronounced very, very incorrectly.
No, we'll
Was
take
that all right?
That was
We'll
good.
take that.
We'll take that, shall we go?
Yeah.
Take that.
Is it French? It's got to be. A little bit of
Francoise
oi
is in the building, so
Oh, better not attempt much more French then, shall I?
sorry, fan.
But it is. It's got her signature style running through the collection. We've got our little numbers nested throughout here. We've got our little dots. We've got our little bit of distressing. It all works. And that means that it's going to tie throughout this collection. And not only this collection, which is something I think really important. If you was to say, do you know what? I'm going to do a calendar for next year. We're just on the cusp of a new year, aren't we? So if we said, well, actually, we're going to do a calendar throughout the year and we're going to bring in some of these characters to use, you could quite easily go back to some of Francoise's previous collections, some of her previous characters for the festive times, for the Easter times, for the Halloween times, and actually make out your whole 12-month calendar out of this collection, as well as some of the other editions, and it would all tie together. This is what I mean about signature style. This is what I mean about that important look running throughout. Now, I did say there was 2 more stamps, so just in case you've not seen this already, let's bring these 2 in. These 2 are the sort of icing on the top of the sort of celebration cake, if you will. We have got balloons running through this set. And not only do we have balloons, Francoise actually drew this really nicely. There is a little heart and a star that can easily be stamped onto the balloons as well. Again, to help tell that story. Maybe these balloons are for Valentine's Day. Maybe they're for New Year's. Maybe they're for a birthday. Maybe they're get well balloons. You know, it works in any sense, but it might mean that you wish to change up the balloons by adding on different elements to them. In here, you also have a happy birthday, let's party, and wishing you a happy birthday. Again, tying into the sentiments found throughout the rest of the collection in sort of style and size, if you will. Then we've got our numbers set. So this set, I'll give you the official names for these 2 in just a second, but to me, the essential part here is our numbers. We've got our numbers that are going to coordinate to go all the way throughout this collection. Now, not only are we looking at the idea that we could put 21 on a card, 18 on a card, 80 on a card, 4 on a card, whatever it may be. I feel like I'm playing bingo. It could be all of those things, but it could actually be 2026 as we move into the new year. Or it might be that we're adding an anniversary number onto our anniversary cards. Or it might be that we're doing a scrapbook page and we want to put in the date or the year or both, all of it, for that event or that date that we went to, and kind of using it in our journaling too. You've also got your congratulations element on here, as well as all of your other essentials, including how old, happy, and birthday as 2 separate words this time. Anniversary, again, giving you that ability to put those numbers within the happy birthday realm or within the happy anniversary era. You've also got this washi tape element, which I personally really love because it's a great background build-up that again goes in with Francoise's signature style and of course complements all of these characters beautifully. Then you've got a couple of little tag elements that you can of course stamp your numbers onto, whether you want a single tag with just a 3, 4, 5 on it maybe, or whether you want a double tag for that 80th birthday, 90th birthday, whatever that may be. So these 2 official names, this one is Party Balloons and this one over here is Birthday Numbers. But as you can see, work beautifully within the rest of that look. Now, More to this collection, and I'm going to speed up just a smidge because if not, you're going to feel, well, you've seen all this once, so you don't want to listen to me waffle for hours. But there are 2 die sets in this collection. There is A6 numbers craft die set. There is 12 dies in this one. A beautiful Swiss cheese style frame. To me, it looks like Swiss cheese. I'm sure that isn't what was intended, but it's got these lovely little nodges out of it and little dots in it. It's a really cool A6 frame, and if you do like scrapbooking once again, and you want to pop your photos into that one, that's going to work for you. If you make smaller cards, it's going to work for you. Or of course, as we go to bigger projects, we could be using multiples of them. Then we've got, and again, we talk signature styles, don't we? Signature style of Francoise. We have, of course, got her funky frame. And in this die set, there are 9 different dies. There are little twiddly bits, which I absolutely adore, because they, again, go into that kind of funky, celebration-y, party-poppery look. And then we've got our frame elements running through this one too. So you've got your main outside frame. You then have 2 separate frames running around the inside of this one as well. So it gives you a lot of options in which pieces you're going to use and how you're going to be building those up. These sets, just to give you an idea, by the way, your stamps, the recommended retail price is £8.99 per set. The dies, recommended retail price is £14.99 each. There is then 2 stencils to continue the celebration theme. And we'll start off over this side with the balloons. Not only do you get the positive of the balloons, you also get the negative of the balloons. And they open up a whole world of possibilities of laying them down and misting over the top, bringing in your enchanted sprinkles, all of them kind of things, laying them out onto a mat, sending them through and embossing them as random balloons across a background. All of that could be achieved by the little kind of waste elements. And then, of course, you've got the joy of the stencil too. So lots we can do with this one. And this one is called Balloon Backdrop. We then have this really funky one. And this one is called Funky Dots. And it really is funky, isn't it? It's got kind of that animal printy vibe to it, which, of course, works perfectly with so many of our characters found throughout the collection, but actually could come in for so many different sort of themes and styles, all on its own if you wanted it to. And then to top off this collection, the Persista Resistance, which was not pronounced at all correctly.
What is going on this evening?
How do we pronounce that one, Peter, from the side?
Oh, I'm not going to try. All I can think of now is that cheese on the frame, the Gouda.
Cheese!
Gouda cheese.
Little bit of cheese.
Never thought of it like that, but now there's them little holes I can think of.
But that's a compliment.
Cheese.
I think it's cool.
Absolutely.
You imagine doing that and then sticking a little mouse in there. Little mousy mouse. I think that'd look very cute. So our paper pad, as I'm flicking through this, and you may remember this from our sneaky last week, or you may have seen it on the shows, but this is just a beautiful paper pad. Look at all of these sheets. All double-sided, so whether we go for kind of the splodginess or whether we go for the more marbly look over this side. This reminds me of Changer Rooms a la 1990 when they did all of that sponging techniques. I love it. I think it's brilliant. I really do, because it is a great backdrop to add more onto. And this side's kind of your party vibe, isn't it? You can virtually smell them party poppers going off.
Francois says, ooh la la.
Ooh la la. So in this set, you've got 24 double-sided pages, 6 designs, 4 sheets of each. Now, isn't it lovely having Francoise in the comments with us this evening? Show her some love and tell her just how much you are loving the look of this collection. Because like us, we know you are bowled over. We know you have fallen in love with it. And I'm going to put Pete on the spot now because we haven't had this chat today.
Uh-oh.
Hobby maker orders. How many left the building today, or what stage are we at? Oh, I'm getting a vague look. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. Maybe we should bail. Should we change the subject? Should we talk about the weather? What should we do? Should we wait and see if he comes up with an answer?
I think well over half have gone and left the building today.
Oh, that's a good statistic. We like that.
Is
So
it?
over
I feel
50%.
under pressure. The boss is
Under
on me.
pressure. So over 50% have left the building today. That ain't bad, bearing in mind they only ordered on Saturday and today's first collection day. We actually have 11 working days to fill your hobby maker orders. So, but we try our very best to get them out the door as quickly as we can. So 50% of your orders are already en route. I am sure many of you have had those emails telling you that they are en route to you. Now then, going back to where we were before I forget, because I didn't give you a price for that pad, did I? Let's go back to having a little look at the collection. Your paper pad is $10.99 recommended retail price. Dies, once again, $14.99 each. Stamps, $8.99. And stencils, $5.49. Now, if you haven't already grabbed a pen and paper, do so now if you would like to know about where you're going to be able to track these down, because this is the moment. Let's tell you where you're going to be able to find these. So as of 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, you will be able to track these goodies down at Dragons Paper Crafts, Cheshire Crafts, the Stamp Pad. That's our lovely Gwen shop. Did anyone see a fancy new logo? Ooh la la to that. Very, very posh. Then we've got Hazel's Crafts, Out of Town Crafts, The Art of Craft, Julia Watts Crafts, Affordable Crafting, Into Craft, The Stamp Hut, Craft Mania, and Hobby Maker. And then, of course, our lovely International, and they are so good. They support us with every release. They are incredible. We do love them, and they do the most amazing lives as well. If you haven't gone and followed them, even if you're not in Canada, go follow them. They're brilliant. That is the Paper and Ink Boutique in Calgary, Canada. Again, I know they ship all over Canada and I believe the United States. So if anyone's watching, do check those out. But even if you don't wish to shop with them necessarily, do tune in and support their lives. Very, very good. I also hear their in-store lessons are very, very good too. And I too would like to go and join them for them. One day I might get out of my little hostage corner and be whisked away to lands unknown, such as Canada.
Know.
I'd love to go to Canada. It's somewhere I'd really like to go. One day, we'll see. So anyway, going back to it, those are your stockists to keep an eye out, and they will have these collections available for you as of tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Hobby Maker, of course, do have them available right this second, but if you'd like to support one of our amazing stockists, then as I say, keep an eye out tomorrow morning from 10 a.m. because they will, of course, be announced on all of those places, and it would be lovely to see you support our stockists too. It is, of course, our last release from the beast that is Creative Expressions for the year. There is no more newness this side of the new year. There will, of course, be lots of newness in the new year, but that is our very last release for this year. And to be honest with you, it's quite late in the year to still be releasing new goodies. So I'm really impressed with how well you've all come along and supported that release and joined in with our kind of madness, because as you probably can see from the rest of the crafty landscape, most companies kind of stop doing new things after October, November. Certainly not this close to Christmas, are they still kind of bringing out newness. But to me, this is the important time of the year because it gives you something brand new to ask Father Christmas for and something fresh to play with when you get your hands on it, instead of having to kind of ask for things that you've possibly already collected a few bits from. So, okay, tonight we're just going to do a couple of little technique demos, and hopefully give you some ideas. But if you have any questions about that collection or anything else in general that we can help with, then please do let us know. That does always fill me slightly full of fear that it might turn Fraser Crane Radio showy and they might ask us what to do about their neighbour that's kicked the cat or something, because we can't help with that. But if you've got crafty questions that we can help with, then please do jump in them comments and we will do our best to answer them for you. Is our dear Francoise getting lots of love in the comments?
There's quite a bit of love. Love.
Good.
Quick question from Michael, just asked about his glitters shipped from Hobby Maker. All orders have left the building from previous shows, but if there's any queries, it's always best to contact the retailer that you purchase from, because they'll be able to help you a bit more, if that helps.
I like that. You did that like a small print.
Did I?
That was like watching this morning when they say, you know, all competitions close on the 12th of December 1983.
Please read terms and conditions.
Please read terms and conditions. Chances of winning are very, very low, but good luck anyway.
But
it was good. I like that.
They will always help.
Pete
be there
is very
to help.
right. It's always actually a good reminder, so thank you for asking the question. I'm sure lots of you know this already, but Hobby Maker, if you order from Hobby Maker, it is Hobby Maker you ask about your orders. We simply just pick them, pack them and send them. We don't have any other control over that. It is always those guys you need to just check in with, and they will be able to tell you where your orders are and what's going on with them. They have access to the system. Is it GDPR? Are they the right letters I'm giving at this stage? Yes, something along those lines. Yeah. We can't have access to everything. You didn't shop with us, you've shopped with them. So it is always going to be kind of us directing you to them to help. If we can help, we're always here. But if it's just a kind of check-in of where your order's got to or what's going on, then it is always best you go to wherever you've purchased it from. They are the ones in control. They are the ones who can tell you more. But I'm sure you know that. So let's have a little look at our darling crazy bird, shall we? Now, my cards are very simple. I'm not going to lie to you. There is very little going on this evening that is going to woo you, I'm sure. but there is a couple of bits I wanted to share with you. And one of them was kind of along these lines, was bringing in one of our stamps and stamping it and then kind of building up on top of it a little. So we're going to aim for something along these lines and we'll see how far we get. So we're going to bring in a piece of card to work on and we're going to find our stamps. Now, what one should we go with? What one should we play with at this stage? Are we in a fishy mood? Are we in a chameleon-y mood? Are we in a crazy bird mood? Are we in a sloth mood? Oh, I don't know. Let me just separate my stamps out. I think we're going to stick Crazy Bird. I think Crazy Bird fits every mood. So we're going to bring in Crazy Bird and we're going to stamp that adorable stamp down here. Now, I believe it was earlier today that Francois shared a card with you on the Woodware Facebook page of our darling Crazy Bird with a little bow in her hair. And I thought that was adorable. So, so cute. If you haven't seen these cards I mentioned, and you haven't seen all of the great inspiration that is coming from Francois and the DT with this collection, then do please make sure you are following our Woodware page. We have a designated page for all things Woodware. It is called Woodware. You cannot go wrong. It has the little red symbol with a Woodware name running through it and the little maple leaf. Do check that out and give that a follow. Equally, if you're not following yet our brand new Crafty Concoctions page, I would love to see you on that one as well. So please make sure you give that a follow because it is your way to keep up to date with everything that product, that brand is bringing. So do have a little look for these if you haven't already started following them. And please do me a favour in following them if you would like to know more about that brand, see more inspiration, more ideas from not only me but the rest of the DT too. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in some balloons. And I think I'm actually mixing my demos, which won't surprise you, because honestly, anything's possible around here. But we're going to kind of just wing this a little. This whole evening is kind of going to be winged. Bit of winging. And I've gone for the very round balloon. I quite like this round balloon. This round balloon, I don't know why, it gives me less birthday vibes and more celebration vibes. I don't know why. I feel the traditional balloon in the gives me more birthday vibes, and then the balloon gives me more Valentine's vibes. And that's kind of great, isn't it? Because it means that we've got different balloons. Maybe it's all in my head, but we've got different balloons for different themes, which is kind of great. So we're going to try and give our Crazy Bird a bit more love, a bit more emotion. We're going to go for some hearts and we're going to add these in as we can to each of these balloons. Now, you could clean this stamp in between so that you don't run the risk of ending up with a dodgy smudge. But for speed, nobody wants to watch me clean stamps, do they? We're just going to wing it and hope. We like winging it and hoping. So then once we've got our lovely stamped image in place, we're going to start picking some colours. Now, I don't know why I've gone for our dear Crazy Bird, because I don't know what we're going to do with her. What shall we do? Shall we do some pink balloons? Shall we think Valentine's? Love is not far away, is it actually? So maybe we should go in with some red and add this in. And this ink's a little bit still wet actually. I've treated myself to a brand new ink pad. We did a demo day on Saturday, didn't we, Pete? And I thought, oh, I'm going to roll out the red carpet. I'm going to have a brand new ink pad. But my goodness, is it a juicy ink pad?
You do like to live, don't you?
I do. Do you know that was the highlight of my week? I love a new ink pad. So actually, I shouldn't say it was my highlight. Our lovely demo day was the highlight. And spending the whole weekend with the darling Gwen Fletcher. Didn't we have a laugh?
We did.
We had a good laugh. We laughed, we cried, we laughed, we cried. It was a good weekend. Yeah, really, really enjoyable. And now we start the countdown to our next demo day, which will take place in January at Unicorn Crafts. Will it not, Peter? I've said this with fear in my mind as I've said it.
It will, and I believe that is near Sheffield.
Oh, look at you,
Or in
all
Sheffield.
geographer. Geographer?
Gwen dropped the geography bit.
Did she?
She did. I was like, oh, that's where it is.
Oh. Sadly, we're not joining Gwen for that one, but I'm sure you're in safe hands with Mrs. Fletcher. She will look after you. She will inspire you. It will be a very, very good day, I am sure. So just a little bit of colouring with these, nothing too heavy. We're going to test off up in this corner to see what colour we want them. I might go blue. I might think that Crazy Bird's got a boyfriend. Crazy Bird's got a boyfriend and she's sending him a card. So we're going to go for blue hearts on these balloons. And you're not going to watch me colour all of this, I promise, because you don't want to watch me colouring loads and loads of Crazy Bird, do you? There are better things we could be doing this evening than watching me colour, but we're going to do a little bit because I just get carried away. And I've not blended anything, and I could have, and I should have, and I can, but I'm not going to. Maybe we will on the next one. But we'll add in just a small amount of colour to them balloons, because that's fun. And then it will save me trying to work out what colour my Crazy Bird needs to be today. So a little bit of colour added on. I don't even know why I've done that really, because I have pre-prepped somewhat, not a lot, but somewhat. And we of course have got our sloth hanging in the tree. And do you know one of the things I absolutely love about this sloth? The way that Francois has designed him, he can be sideways on a tree. You nearly got an action then, and then I thought I can only show you the sideways on a tree, so I won't bring you back to me just to see what it looks like me hugging thin air, but kind of hanging onto the side of the tree. But equally he can go kind of diagonally across, if you will, so he can kind of be low hanging on the tree or full on suspended from the tree. And I think that's great because it just gives you different directions that you can put him, and it kind of works. So like this one, for instance, maybe we didn't want Crazy Bird to be the only character on the card. We could have had the sloth hanging above her head, and that would work. And I think that's kind of cool because it really could be in any direction all the way round. You've kind of got that 90 degrees to play with. Maybe even...
Ali reckons it's a pole dancing sloth.
Kind of is a pole dancing sloth, isn't it? That's a whole other range of stamps we could do. That's a whole different ball game. Maybe one day. I'm glad my question this evening to win the cards is not what stamp range would you like to see Francois design next. If that's the mood of the room this evening, pole dancing sloths.
Poor Francoise.
I don't know.
She brings an element of class to our...
She does bring an element of class to our world, and there here we are giving it pole dancing. I don't know if that's a good idea. So, okay, I often confess this truthfully, and I'm not lying. This is not an illusion. You've possibly just witnessed it right before your very eyes. I cannot colour. I'm not a colourist. I'm really not. I love to colour. I like to experiment with colour. I like to pretend I can colour. I love to sit and colouring in front of the TV. But in reality, I can't colour. It never looks good. It doesn't matter what pens I use, what inks I use. The poshest, the cheapest, the ones in the middle, it don't get no better. You can either do it or you can't. Bit like singing, in my mind. Maybe I should go for some classes, not singing, because that still wouldn't work, but colouring classes. But nevertheless, what I do like to do is I attempt, because I always think we should attempt these things even if we're not good at them, because how will it ever get better if we don't attempt? But equally, when we're going to attempt, there are things we can do to disguise. A bit like wearing black to hide the fat bits. We can cover up our colouring. And that's what we're going to do next. So, back to where we were with our dear sloth. We're going to bring in one of my many newfound loves, which is our texture pastes. And I've picked up the boring one actually, so we're going to go off of that one. We're going to go into another one. I picked up the clear, but I don't want the clear. I think we're going to go for the clear shard. I thought I'd got clear shard and I hadn't. So we're going to go for our micro granite paste by Crafty Concoctions. And we're going to hook this out and we're going to plop it on the top of our picture. We're literally going to go over the top of this. Now we're coloured in with alcohol markers, so we're adding moisture. We don't need to worry that that's going to reactivate in any format. If we're coloured with a watercolour pencil, for instance, or watercolour inks in any sense, then there's a real fear that actually by applying this over the top, you're going to smudge it, you're going to reactivate the product and it's going to come out slightly. If it does, I actually think that can look quite nice. So have a bit of a smudge and a bit of a movement to it. So don't panic if it does and you've forgotten you've used the wrong product. But if you've used alcohol inks, then you've got no fear that you're going to have any movement. And this will just go over the top. And as you can see, we are applying it with a brayer. And that is going to give us a nice flat finish. Now I've got a little bit of ink that's come off of my brayer because if I'm going to be honest with you, I never wash anything properly. Very few things get washed properly, but it doesn't matter because we won't notice it by the end. Now what we've done here by adding the clear shard texture paste over the top is we've added a gloss to the top of this colouring. So anytime we add gloss to colouring, we're going to get a nice shimmer and shine to it, which is just a bonus in itself. But we've also added that clear shard, and the clear shards are like little grains of sand, if you will, but they are transparent. So when they sit on the top of your picture, they kind of give it a glassy look, a very nice soft textured look, but kind of a little glassy look, and they catch the light and give you a bit of a glint to them. A bit like them little glass beads you put in the bottom of your vases, but think of them really, 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 really tiny and put into a clear texture base. That's kind of where we're at, I suppose. But it gives you a shard of shimmer, and it gives you that glossy glaze that we're kind of got in the texture base to begin with. So you don't have to do this, you certainly don't have to do this, and if you're going to, try not to put a black fingerprint on it, because that's really not wise, but we'll trim it off, so it doesn't matter. But if you want to, it will distract the eye ever so slightly from your colouring. So if, like me, you're not the most confident colourist, nothing is lost, we can disguise. It also means that if we want to, we can add more to the top of this, because all this is gluey and wet. So if we bring in our Atomics glitters and we sprinkle some over the top here, we can add confetti running through the air in our sloths party. So it looks like some lovely party poppers or glitter or confetti or something that's gone off in the air to give even more sparkle to that card or project. So I've used the Aurora Fusion, which is our lovely light blue colour scheme of Atomics glitters. Ignore the label, it got wet. Got a little smudge on it. Cheeky. So all that one is a lovely multi-sized faceted glitter in kind of a light bluey aurora-y colour. So I've just sprinkled that over the top to give that lovely party aspect to our image. And this again is me covering up and distracting the eye from my colouring. It's also a really nice way to, if you want to leave quite a lot of white space, but actually you don't. I'm not that comfy with white space, but equally I wanted it to be white space. Am I making any sense? This is now just the ramblings of a crazy man, isn't it? But it is kind of a nice subtle way to add something into that area without adding too much. Whether we leave it as a big piece or whether we trim it right the way down once dry, this area around it has got a bit of interest, but not enough that it's stealing the focus from, of course, our beautiful sloth, who needs to be the centre of attention. It's not every day you see a pole dancing sloth holding a cupcake. That is certainly where the attention needs to be. So,
Francoise did ask suggestions of what animals or character they'd like to see, and quite a few different suggestions of owls, badgers and bits like that. One was suggested of a snake. Michael suggested a snake. A lovely Kim, dear Kim, I've used your present, thank you very much. She knows what we're on about. Kim says, I don't think Jamie would want a snake.
No, I wouldn't want a snake.
She's obviously picked up on the snake.
She has picked up on the snake issues, isn't she?
Lovely Kim.
I like the way you've just let that linger in the air. I've used your present, but you haven't told us what the present is. The mind, if I was a viewer, I've got no foam tape, Pete. I'm going to have you could demonstrate the present.
I could demonstrate.
Go on.
Present.
Go get me some foam tape, please. One meal will do, please, sir.
See, I could have lied. I'm going to test now to make sure I've used it.
Oh, listen to that soft opening of the door. It was very lovely. Kim popped up to our demo day and bought us a can of WD-40, wrapped up and presented it to Pete to open. And he has already put it to action on the door, which is actually kind of lovely. So thank you very much. Very much appreciated. So let's bring in some foam tape to build these together, because I will be honest, I did this kit a little while ago and I totally forgot to add the tape between the layers. So let's bring in our layers once again and we'll start building this up. And this is a very small little card, not even C6, which is something I'm really, and this is Christine on our DT that's doing this to me. I've never been a fan of little cards. I'm not a fan, that's wrong. I've never felt I could do them or do them justice. So I've kind of avoided them for many, many years. But actually seeing Christine's come through, I'm really inspired to make smaller cards for the first time ever. I always felt if I did a small card, I couldn't put a lot on it. And actually, seeing hers really proves that wrong because there is so many details, so many layers, so much beauty put onto that tiny little footprint that, okay, there's nothing wrong with big cards. I'm still going to make big cards, trust me. But it's kind of nice to see, well, actually, we can par it back a little bit too. Samantha says she has snakes in her garden this
That's
year.
what I was just reading. We won't ask where she lives. I think it's UK, isn't it?
So I have a feeling Samantha is in the UK.
Where, what? I don't think we need
We'll
to
send
know.
Emma to retrieve them if they need to be captured. Emma on our DT is building a collection. She's like Mrs. Doolittle. She is though, isn't she?
She is.
There is a whole... What? It's not a montage. What's the word I'm thinking
I
of?
still can't get over, obviously, the food and looking after the food.
Oh,
that makes sense.
no. It's not a What's the word? It's not a montage. What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
When you have like
Help
a
us
collection
out.
of animals.
Menagerie.
That's the one.
A menagerie.
A menagerie.
Menagerie, will we?
Is that a French word, is it?
No,
I don't know why we added it all we.
Because you were Frenching all the way earlier.
Well, yeah, but I think the words I added, the French je ne sais quoi to, were French. You just can't drop your wee-wees anywhere you want.
Because it went menagerie.
I'm
I'm going to go to Hercule Poirot now.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Poirot.
I just don't know. Just don't know.
Anyway, you've come for an evening of crafting with Jamie Rogers and his assistant.
Watch out. Kim will send us a new French mask. You could have one of them moustaches.
I could.
With a little...
And a little
twiddle.
monocle or whatever it is.
Yes.
It is I, Leclerc.
I've not watched enough of this to know if you're anywhere near accurate.
Hello.
Oh, I thought he was the detective.
Oh, Renee.
I don't even know where that comes from if that isn't the detective. So we're going well off topic, aren't we? I'm sorry. You've tuned in for this and you've got that. What do I say? How do we cope with this? Okay, so coming back to our frame, we have used the fungi frame. I've cut it once in white and I've done that lovely double stack trick where I've cut one in white and one in silver so that we end up with a silver filled in frame, and then I've glued the two together and foam padded it onto the front of the card, and then I've added our Dynamic Daisies by Sue Wilson to the edge of the card to just finish that off. And that frame is great because it could go in any direction. Obviously our darling comedian probably doesn't want to go that way, he might feel a bit seasick, but the frame could be used in any direction and work perfectly for you. Again, perfect frame for scrapbooking. I could see that being dangled on ribbons, could even be baubles on a Christmas tree if you wanted it to be, couldn't it? And it's got such a beautiful signature funky style to it, it just works so nicely. And doing that double stack cut really does help fill in those areas. You could even do that with white card and then colour them in, or you could paper piece them back in with the pieces that have fell out in other colours, which would work really nicely as well. And as you can see, that frame fits our characters beautifully. So our lovely comedian fits perfectly on the inside of it. Now, it is a very simple card, but we would like to give it away, and we would like to give away anything else we make this evening. So if you haven't already, which you won't have because you didn't know it, because I forgot what question I'd already asked you, and I haven't asked you a question. So shall we ask you the question? It's going to be a good evening, isn't it? So our question this evening to win that card is, what's your crafty New Year's resolution? So this doesn't need to be a proper New Year's resolution. We don't want to know that you want to get out of bed earlier or go to bed earlier or get up earlier or any of that kind of boring stuff. We want to know about your crafty New Year's resolutions. Do you have a crafty New Year's resolution? Is it to buy more, buy less, tidy up after every card, make more cards, make less cards? Tell us. I'm not going to give you all of the ideas, but tell us what is your crafty New Year's resolution in the comments. And our dear
Peter.
French Peter over in the corner is going to pick a winner for you by the end of the evening. I really don't feel we should continue this Frenchness. It's not good. It's not good.
Francoise, however, does say, can we all wear stripy jumpers if I come up and demo with a beret?
No. Too many lumps and bumps for stripes. It's not good. And we might look like we work in Pizza Express.
Do they wear stripes?
I think so. Black and do they not wear black and white striped t-shirts?
Or like the perfume? Is that black and white stripes?
I don't know.
Jean-Paul Gaultier. Here we go again.
Help me. Please just
Nearly
help
time to
me.
go.
Help me, help me. Get me out of it. I'm not a celebrity, I'm a crafter. It needs to be got out of it. Okay, so moving swiftly on. Oh, I know what I haven't got. It's all right, we'll use, can we? Yeah, we'll use the back of this one. It's fine. Okay, so next up what we're going to do is we are going to create one of our lovely tags. Now, I have got a little bit carried away with these. I've done quite a few of them because I just sometimes think we forget how we can stamp onto other products. Or I do. This might not be an everybody thing. You might well be way more on it than I am and just me forgetting. But I often forget that I can take my stamps and work on different materials with them. So I'm going to bring in one of our MDF tags. I'm going to put it into our stamp press. We're going to place it up in the corner, and obviously we can't hold it down with a magnet because it's MDF and that ain't going to work. But what we can do is use the magnets as little edges to make sure that that isn't going to move off anywhere that we don't want it to. And we can then bring in a stamp. Now I know that on the other side of this we've already got Tony the Toucan. So instead, we're going to bring in our bowl dancing sloth. I expect a text from Francoise later. Please stop telling the world that my sloth is bowl dancing. Is that going to work on this? Oh, I think I might have to get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. I've not done this in, oh, I think I'm a little bit over there. Maybe we'll go that way. See if that works better. I've not done that in this stamp press before. I usually use my other stamp press, but I've treated myself to a new stamp press. Getting very extravagant around here, aren't I? New ink pad, new stamp press, anyone would think it's Christmas. Okay, bring in some ink and we'll ink over our stamp. A little sloth, and then we'll bring that over and we're going to stamp that down onto our MDF, just like before. But instead of being on cardstock, we have, of course, treated ourselves to a little bit of MDF. Now, as a brand under Gemma Rogers Crafts, we do quite a few different MDF elements. There are door plaques, door hangers, lots of different sizes of tags. There's a whole host of things that you could be stamping onto. And I actually think this is a really great way to get a different look out of your stamps, a different purpose out of your stamps. And I know we often talk about this, but if you are making to sell, then actually having a matching gift tag to go with your card can really set your products aside. Or maybe you want to go for more of a home decor look with them and actually add those kind of elements to your stall too. Then all I'm going to do is bring back in our alcohol markers, and I'm going to colour over the top of this with alcohol markers. So if you're wondering how do I apply colour to my tag once I've stamped on it, what can I be building up my image with, alcohol markers will work a treat for you as well. So we're going to just colour over this. We'll do a small amount of this. There is our little tree bark going in there, and we're happy with that. So let's have a little look and see what else we are going to add to our character. What other colours would we like to be using on him? I'm just going to retrieve the pen I've thrown on the floor. Very dramatic, honestly. And then we're going to go into our hat. And for our party hat, our little sloth, we're going to give them a nice vibrant hat. Now, of course, when we're colouring on MDF, we are competing with the fact that the colour underneath it isn't bright white. So the colours are going to show up differently. There's going to be a different shade come through. And it is going to be a bit lighter or a bit duller, I suppose, is what I want to say in honesty. And we've kind of got to account for that because of, obviously, when you look at the colours on white card, they're going to be more prominent than they're going to be when we're working on a darker shade such as MDF. But it doesn't mean that we have to settle with it being dull or light. We can add colour in other ways or amplify this colour in other ways, which takes me back in a big circle to once again distracting the eye from my colouring ability. But we'll carry on adding our colour down and seeing what we can create. Now, while I'm colouring this P, curiosity is killing me. What crafty New Year's resolutions do we have this year?
Quite a few.
Well, come on then.
Michael's is to buy more craft items for Creative Expressions.
Oh, very good one, Michael. We like that one. Cha-ching to Michael. That I do kind of class as trying to bribe the independent adjudicator. I like it.
Wendy, our dear Wendy, says to start making her Christmas cards in January. Lol.
Very good, very good. Wendy was at our demo day on Saturday as well. It was her first time demonstrating. Pardon?
She did amazing, didn't she?
Did do amazing. She did absolutely amazing. It's not easy to say to somebody, do you fancy coming along and doing a demo for us? And then kind of plopping them on a table at 10 in the morning and then not really talking to them until 4 that afternoon. It was awful. I didn't like it. But it was lovely to see how she flourished and how embracive people were to her and welcoming. That was really genuinely very sweet. So if you did come along to the demo day, thank you for supporting all of us, but especially Wendy on her very first demo. That was very, very kind of you. She did some amazing stuff, didn't she?
Did. Okay. Kim reckons she needs to sell what she doesn't use before she buys some more.
That's a good idea. That's not a bad idea at all, is it? I like that kind of idea. I can see the purpose to this. Sometimes it's easy to add, but not always as easy to let go. So yeah, I can get behind that. I'm a bit of a hoarder. If you went through my craft supplies, you would find stuff I've had for 20 odd years, if not longer. So again, I'm not the best colourist. I'm not going to pretend I am, but we are just going to try and colour in our little sloth so that he looks somewhere sloth-like.
I thought we were going to go with slothy.
Slothy?
Sloth-like.
So he looks slothy? I don't know if that's a word. I suppose it can be in the grand scheme of words we've invented this evening. That's probably the closest to reality. Stop bringing up the pole dancing sloth. We're meant to be a professional operation. I don't know. Talking of professional operations, the bit I forgot to ask earlier, if any of our stockists are with us this evening in the comments and you haven't already done a runner, which we wouldn't blame you if you had, if you would like to drop in a link to your websites so our customers, or viewers I should say, our viewers can see where they can purchase these goodies we mentioned from, we would love you to do that. So any stockists with us this evening, if you'd like to pop a link into the comments, or if you don't have an online store, an online presence, if you'd like to tell us about your store, where are you appearing next, if you're one of our people that pop up at shows, or any information that you feel general public viewers of this would like to know about, so they can track you down and support you by purchasing some of our Creative Expressions goodies, please don't hesitate to do so. I should have done that earlier, stockists, I'm sorry. But if you're still with us and you would like to, let us know in the comments. As we've told you a million times before, viewers, we do not sell direct here at Creative Expressions. We only sell for our stockists. So if you're looking for these goodies we mentioned this evening or on any of our lives, the only place to purchase them will be through our stockists. You can find a stockist list on our website, or of course, if our stockists are joining us this evening and they do pop up a link to their website, then of course you'll be able to find a selection of our goodies at the addresses or details they share with you in the comments. So I hope that was okay to watch. Nothing too amazing, but we do have our sloth down. Now, over the top of our dear sloth, and this is something I kind of fell in love with, is again adding more to it and giving it a bit of a glazed look, because this really does amplify the colouring. So I'm going to go back to a piece of paper once again. I'm going to bring back in this sheet that I had earlier. We're going to place that under our tag, and we're going to hook out some of our clear texture base this time. Now, I'm not allowed to call it clear texture base, and I've picked up the wrong one again. Honestly, I'm not good with these jars, am I? Let's go for the right one. This is Blendite texture paste, transparent. To you and me, it's clear texture paste, but some person got involved in the naming, come up with Blendite texture paste, transparent. I blame Laura.
That was Laura.
I blame Laura. Yep.
We'll blame Laura.
Laura was present for them decisions, so we blame Laura. I might have been the only other person in the room and said, oh, it needs a nice fancy name to mix in with the crafty concoction-ness, that scientific look bit, but we're going to blame Laura. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to attempt, which is not easy, I'm going to attempt to add texture paste to just 1/2 of this tag. I'm already 2/3 in, but we're attempting 1/2. And we're doing it again with a brayer. Because what I want you to see is how, we can just take off this excess. You can do it with a paintbrush, don't have to do it with your finger. But you know me, never mind getting in a mess. We'll take that off. But what I want to try and share with you, I think you can see that on your screens, I'm hoping you can see that on your screens, is how glossy and amplified the colours come or go when we add the texture paste over the top. Doesn't that make a remarkable difference to that tag? It really lifts the shading. It really lifts the colouring. It distracts us once again from my terrible colouring, hopefully, and gives you that glossy finish over the top of your image. Now, you may, I'm sure, be a 10 times better colourist than I am. You might not need to know these tricks. You might not need to know these ideas. But I do genuinely find that adding just a little bit of texture base, whether it's the clear, whether it's the one with the shards in, whether it's the Opti Gold, whether it's clear embossing powder, whether it's glossy accents, just something along them lines will add that glossy sheen to the top and it will seal it, which is nice, and it will add a gloss finish to it, which to me is even better. It again makes it so that we could add more to the top of this tag if we wanted to. If we wanted to come in with some glitters, whether they're gemstones glitters, whether they're atomics glitters, whether they're any other product, we're working on a wet base now, we could add those in and it would add a different sheen to it. But actually, to me, that really amplifies the look of that. And when that's dry, we're going to send this out as well. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth, that I did forget to bring a blank tag in when we did this. So on the other side, we've got our Tony the Toucan. And you can see Tony, in comparison, not yet glazed. The plan was he was going to be the glazed one. I was going to stamp it, I was going to colour a little bit, and then we was going to bring in this one, and we was going to glaze over the top of this one, so you didn't have to watch me colour it all in. But as I forgot a blank tag, on one side, you are going to get our lovely Sloth, and on the other side, you're going to get Tony the Toucan. So if you haven't already let us know in the comments, please do so. What is your crafty New Year's resolution? And we will pick one winner to receive the tag and the card so far that we've created to send out to you as a little thank you for joining us on our Monday Night Natter when we are celebrating our Stockists launch of the brand new Woodware collection. Because it's all about sharing a little bit of fun and a little bit of joy. So it doesn't matter where you live in the world, tell us in the comments and we will do our best to let our French independent adjudicator this evening pick for us a winner to send them out to. Now, if you do have any questions about the Crafty Concoctions world, I know, and this isn't about Crafty Concoctions tonight, it is about our Woodware launch. But if you have missed the arrival of Crafty Concoctions is one of our brands that now falls underneath the Creative Expressions umbrella. We have Woodware, we have Crafty Concoctions, and on this side we have the original, the OG in our world, the Jamie Rogers Crafts brand, and all three of these now fit under the Creative Expressions umbrella. But do not fear, that umbrella has its own goodies under it too. We of course have dotty stuff and sprinkles and blending tools, and of course the whole world of Sue Wilson, all of those dies, all of those stamps, all of those embossing folders too, and many more products coming next year to go not only under this part, but under all three of those as well. So lots and lots going on. But of course, Crafty Concoctions, our brand new brand, bringing with it all of its inks, glitters, texture paste, storage jars, recipe cards, that actually opens up a whole new world of creativity to you. If you haven't been watching them, do have a little look for the videos on our Facebook page that our dear Emma has been posting, sharing with you brand new concoctions every day, I believe, at something like 6 PM, I think, by memory. But there is lots of videos on there that you'll be able to sort of get recipe ideas from and kind of build up your knowledge on how you can be making brand new concoctions with them. This evening, we've just been using what I class as kind of your base elements, the texture base. And of course, all of those items are standalone. You can use the inks as an inks, a glitter as a glitter, and a paste as a paste just like we have been this evening. But if you do want to bring them together and mix them like Emma's sharing with you, then you can do that too. So lots and lots of endless opportunities with those. Now I do want to share with you a few of our samples before we go into another demo, because it's nice to make sure that we show you some of these too. Now Francoise still has lots of the samples with her because of course she was just on Hobby Maker on Saturday, and no postman is going to report them from them at 6 p.m. on Saturday right the way down to Yarmouth by this time on a Monday, sadly. So I've only got a few to share with you, but we will of course be posting lots and lots of pictures, sharing lots more inspiration with you. And if you would like to see more inspiration from this collection, then do have a little look back at last week's sneaky peek when we did share a lot more with you, or of course the shows that took place on Saturday when Francois would have shared lots with you on the shows. But here's a lovely card from Siobhan, bringing in our cheesy frame, bringing in our pole dancing sloth. We really can't keep renaming all of these products. This is not going to help anybody. Somebody is going to go to Intucraft tomorrow and say, can I have the cheesy frame and the pole dancing sloth? That's not going to work, is it? It's not going to work. It's not good enough. I can't have this happen on my watch.
I bet they will know which ones they're on about there.
We're going to have Julia Watts on the phone saying, Jamie, I've been requested a pole dancing sloth. What have you been telling the world now? I know, I can hear it coming. So this is Party Animal and A6 Numbers Craft Die, not Cheesy Frame. So they're the ones you need for that card to give you an idea. Moving forward from there, we've got this beautiful card using Tony the Toucan by Laura. And Laura has once again used that beautiful frame around it. You can also see the balloons in the background. Then we've got one by Christine. Christine has used the balloon stamps, the balloon tails, the number die set, this washi tape stamp, amazing, love that. And I also like the way she's stamped the balloons in the background with the same colour that she's then used the stencil with. So it all kind of builds up, and we've got number stamps and number dies all tying it together. This is what I mean about Christine's small cards. There is so much on there, but yet there's still a lot of white space. It really does make me want to play in that kind of format. Another one from Christine, bringing in Carlos. Carlos, our chameleon, and lots of little flies for Carlos. Breakfast is served, and the frame. And I really like the way that she's used the frame, because if you actually look at this frame, the funky frame, you've got all of these different pieces, but all she's used is this one here. That one in the middle, that middle size oval. And she's just layered it over the corners and snipped it off. So we've just got these little sections. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't have looked at that and felt, oh, that come from that frame set. But snipping into it and using that little section really, really works. Then we go on to one by Lynn. Lynn has brought in our lovely Tony the Toucan once again, and again using the cheesy frame. Again coloured in, added the dynamic daisies to the top corner. Then we've got this one. Oh, we found out who did this one last week. Who was it, Pete? Oh, I'm going to put it on the spot. I think it was Lynn. I think it was Lynn. But sorry if I've got the wrong person. Again, though, beautiful Carlos the Chameleon. Dynamic daisies added around the side here. Papers in the background that have also been stamped with the Autumn Leaves collection from Francoise, which was her previous release. Then we've got one from Siobhan with the Keep Swimming and the lots of little fishies going across the card. I love the addition of the silver glitter with this and the little dots as well. Very, very cute. Laura's been very creative on this one, where she has used one of our MDF circles, and of course she's also used our textured paper, our linen textured paper, and she's stamped the sloth out, coloured him in, cut and layered, which I thought looked really, really beautiful. Also used the papers in the background, which I feel she's misted over with some inks, and brought in the daisies that again have been cut out of the paper pad, so everything tone on tone matches. Then you've got a couple of boring ones by me. Not boring, just they're not as fancy. But there's a couple here to share with you. You've got Tony the Toucan, I nearly got Tony the Tiger then. Tony the Toucan, again down here on the side. Balloons added to the air, small bits of confetti. And then this one I've applied the white shard texture paste over the top, and then sprinkled in some glitter, added on some gems. And this one I've used the clear shards over the top, sprinkled in some glitter and added some little gems to it with our little fishy one on there. And then I think you kind of got a flash of these earlier, but we've got a couple of little MDF tags as well with the chameleon and the crazy bird on to give you another couple of ideas if I didn't flash them, but thought I flashed them. So that gives you a little overview of some inspiration from the DT. Now, shall we have a little look at what else we could be doing? I wonder if this is kind of nice. I think we should do this. I think we haven't got long left. Let's do a couple of techniquey bits with you, because I think that could be a nice way to spend the last 10 minutes with, instead of doing a full-on demo. But I wanted to share these couple of ideas with you because, again, it is about me disguising my colouring. When I coloured in this Tony, I kind of made a couple of mistakes. And I thought, well, how can I really disguise the look of this? How can I phase that out slightly, but still keep it and still keep working with it? So what I did is I brought in my stamped coloured image, and this one's got a little ink spot on the top of it. So again, keep an eye on that because we'll try and cover that up. I'm going to bring in a self-adhesive sheet, and I've taken the lid off of it so that I can bring this in and match this up roughly with the piece of card I'm working with. Now, it doesn't matter if it's not exact, because I would always do this slightly larger than I need it to be and then trim down the area that I want it to go onto. We're then going to take off this top layer. If we can get hold of a corner. Ooh, find a corner that we can get into. He says without bringing in the pokers up. There we go, that'll do. So we've now got a nice sticky covering all the way over the top of our crazy bird. We're going to remove these pieces. We're never going to bin these because these are the tops and the bottoms. We need them, they're brilliant. Don't ever part with them. We can add our foam tape to them and trim them into pieces. We can use them as little paint mats. We can do all sorts. So we're not going to bin them. We're just going to take them off to one side. We're then going to go into our Atomics glitters and we're going to find some colours to work with. I'm thinking pink because I don't want to go too close to the yellow. I think we might go back to that blue, but let's have a look with the pink first of all. Blue might be good actually because it's going to help cover up that dot, but we're going to do pink first of all. So all we're going to do is take our panel and we're just going to tip these going around the edges. Not too heavy, but just coming in around the edges. And again, you might say, well, actually, I want to go up to the neckline so that our crazy bird isn't floating in the middle of a panel. If you want to do that, then of course you can trim, and you can do that before you've stuck your self-adhesive sheet on, not a problem at all. But for mine, we're going to pretend that that neckline is either going to be framed, we could add a frame die cut around it, or maybe we're going to stack a load of presents at the bottom of it that have been layered, or maybe we're going to add some flowers, or something along them lines. So I don't mind that our dear crazy bird is mid-frame. We're then going to tip that excess glitter back into the pot. So that was Spectral Pink from the Atomics Glitter Collection. We're going to pick up our crazy bird again, and we're going to bring in Aurora Fusion from our Atomics Glitter range, and then we're going to slightly go up and above where we were with that original colour, because we want to be the next layer in, and I've purposely gone for the bolder colour running around the edge, and then the lighter colour, in this case this nice blue, coming in even further. Oh, come back, all is forgiven. And we can dust that just around the sides. And we can go in as far as we want to, but I think I'm happy there. And we're then going to take that and we're going to put that back into the jar. Now this glitter has 3 different, well actually it has more than 3, it has about 6 different size particles of glitter in there. Some of them really fine, some of them really chunky. Whenever we kind of apply it loosely like we just did, there's going to be quite a little bit of stick going on around these areas where we haven't covered all of the area. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our nice fine glitters. So this time we're going to use Diamond White. Now, of course, in this middle area, there's lots of stick here because there's nothing covering that up. So we need to make sure that we definitely put something over here. But we're also going to aim to put it around the edges to infill those gaps in those glitters. Now, our Diamond White glitter, and I'm going to show you this in this format actually. Our Diamond White glitter, it's not an iridescent glitter, it's a white glitter. So just like a blue glitter is a blue glitter, a yellow glitter is a yellow glitter, so on and so forth, this is a white glitter. It's not transparent. So if we bring this in over to this picture, we are going to cover up the picture to a degree because it is white. So bear that in mind with our colouring, because if we use really light colours, for instance, we might lose some of that image. If you look to Tony, back on the original card, you can see we really softened him down. Now we might do this and we might lose our crazy bird completely. I don't think we will. And I wanted you to see it in a lighter shade. So we've gone for a yellow crazy bird so you can see the difference. But if we do, that's why. But we'll add this all the way over the top, all the way around the edges, making sure to infill every area because we don't want it to go into an envelope and it gets stuck to the envelope on the edge, do we? Now, if you've contaminated this part of your glitter and you're worried, which you're more than likely to be, pop it into another jar or don't contaminate it in the first place, or be neater on how you apply it and don't put so much on. They're all the top tips really to prevent contamination. For me, I never mind a bit of contamination because there's a 99% chance I'm going to sprinkle that into a texture paste or add it to another concoction and it won't matter where I've put it and how I've applied it. We're going to tap off all of this excess. We could brush this off with a stiff brush if we've got one laying around, or a blending sponge or something along them lines. But that's what we're looking at. We are now creating that panel that is now kind of diffused our colouring, kind of covered up our colouring to a degree, but has actually added this beautiful sparkly glitter all the way around our frame to again add that kind of party popper, confetti, New Year's Eve kind of vibe to our creation that's going to hit the light and sparkle in all those different places, whether it's the white glitter or of course our atomic glitters. So another idea on how you can take your images, you can colour them in and then you can build up on top of them. Just to give you another glimpse at a quick idea for you.
Kim says that a transparent glitter would be great.
Yes, you could certainly use excuse me, apologies. You could certainly use a more transparent glitter. You could, of course, if you wanted, if you just wanted to keep this bit and you didn't, the edge bit I mean by that, sorry, random point in the middle of a project. If you wanted to do everything we did up to adding the white glitter on, another idea is we just want to cover that sticky bit over. So we go back in a big circle, and what we could have done is bring in our Blendite Texture Paste Transparent, and we could have put this over the top. And just like we did on our previous cards and projects, this would have covered that sticky area and prevented that from actually having any stick on it at all. We just need to diffuse that sticky if we did that technique around the edges. But you don't have to use a self-adhesive sheet to do that. We could have put glue on and put it over the glue, but a clear texture paste running over the top of that would also work quite nice. I also like the way I've carried in some of the glitter doing it that way, because then we've kind of got that confetti vibe going in the middle too. And we could add more to that if we wanted. Any of this excess I've picked up from around it could go in, or we could go back to our brayer and we could apply some texture to the top. So we've kind of got them lift up, put down points, and that would work quite nicely as well. So lots of ways you can achieve it, but just an idea to share with you how you can frame what you've created. I hope that helps. I hope that's something that you look at and think, well, I've not thought of doing that. I'm going to attempt a self-adhesive sheet over my stamped images and add to it in some kind of format like that again.
Kim just clarified she meant a transparent fine glitter would be a great addition to the range. Maybe there might be some new additions
wait there,
to the...
wait there. Sorry, Peter in the corner. Can you please share that little face and little look that I just got? Come on. Don't go shy on us now.
I feel I'm in the naughty seat.
No, not naughty at all. But I just like them to see what I see. So, please repeat.
Kim just said she'd like a transparent fine glitter.
Uh-huh. Was that all you said? Is that all you was implying? Maybe. Okay.
Are there any new additions, please, sir? Wait.
Why have we gone French again?
I can't forget the French.
It's been a long week.
It's only Monday.
It's been a long week.
It's only Monday.
I think it's just being with you. Okay, I've lost my masking tape, but I do happen to have a rather large pile of post-its, so we are going to attempt to do a bit of post-itting, and we're going to go hold it down with that because it's just going to be easier than sending him off to find me some masking tape or low-tack tape. What we're doing now, and this again is just a quickie, it's just something I see and was like, oh, how was that done? So this is done by our lovely Lynn on the DT, and I see this and I was like, I need to know more about that. I thought she'd bought in lots of different colours of crafty concoctions, mixed them up in texture base and put them through, but she hasn't. And I wanted to share this with you in case you had seen this too, because I thought this looked really, really cool. So we're going to go on to our stencil, and we're going to make this the last technique of the evening, I promise. So if you're struggling to stay awake, I promise, we'll stop waffling soon and we'll take Pete off of hostage cam, or maybe we should call it giveaway cam over there this evening with all the hints and the little sneaky snippets.
Oh, I don't think there's much given away.
Well, there were some jolly great hints at some sparkliness coming soon, maybe.
But maybe you've just confirmed.
I ain't
more
confirmed
than I gave
nothing.
away.
I'm not saying a word. I still think we're in May. I know nothing. So all Lynn's done, or not all Lynn's done, what Lynn's done, which I thought was very, very, very clever, is she's picked each of her sections and she's brought in some distress inks, and she would have done this much better than I'm going to do it, but it's going to give you an idea, because it's the ideas that count, isn't it? So she's brought in her inks. She's used our lovely Polka Doodles blending brushes, I think. Might not have been, but I'm going to, because I think these work a treat for this. She's brought in a blending brush of some description, maybe not these ones, maybe these ones, who knows, and added for each of these little dots some colour with distress inks. So that was Wild Honey. Then we're going to go on to Peacock Feathers. Oh, that's a lovely one, isn't it? Love Peacock Feathers. Also like Seedless Preserves. We'll see if we can keep you awake whilst I do this till the point that we get down to that one. But we're going to go through each of these little dots, add in some colour. And this is what I love about a stencil like this. You could make up all sorts of patterns, couldn't you? You could do all sorts of backgrounds. You could certainly be colour matching this to different teams, sports, seasons, feelings, whatever it may be, characters. It could be all sorts that this is going to sort of match up with. And as you can see, not exactly complicated to add colour through, is it? So we'll do a few of those. And this one's going to end up quite blue, I feel, because I've got lots of blues. So we're going to go for Broken China as our next colour. It's a bit of a lighter one, isn't it? So we might not do as much of that. I'm conscious that you don't want to watch me colour every single dot, because that's going to get a bit boring, isn't it? I should have just picked a corner. Nevertheless. Any more crafty New Year's related resolutions, Peter? Why I colour some dots?
No, I don't think so.
No more?
No, all good, all good.
What's your crafty New Year's resolution? Is it to stop giving away product launches? Or can I suggest one for you?
I'm not sure that's safe to be aired.
What, your New Year's resolution or my resolutions for you? Or both?
Both, I think. Alice and our lovely glue lady earlier, she said, what did she say? Where is it? She said it could be worse. It could be Peter the pole dancing sloth. Good Lord. Anyway, hope my Alison's well.
She wouldn't be if she witnessed you pole dancing.
Like a sloth.
Don't know if that's something anyone needs to be witnessing anytime soon.
Michael wants to know if you've done your Christmas shopping yet.
Do you know what, Michael? Would you like the honest truth on that one? I haven't done a single, and I mean solitary single, thing for Christmas. There is not a decoration anywhere. There is not a Christmas present anywhere. There is not a thing anywhere that I have done for this Christmas yet. I am that far behind. We have been so incredibly gratefully busy throughout the last year, to be honest with you. And that is a genuine grateful busy. That's not a complaint in any way, shape or form. The shows have been so supported this year. The releases have been so supported. The fact that we've managed to bring out, and I don't even want to guess how many products this year. I know we started, when we took on Creative Expressions, we had something along the lines of 500 products in the product range. And I now know, I feel and Pete might correct me on this, but I feel we're becoming close to 2,000. I don't think we've hit 2,000 yet, but I don't think we're far off 2,000, which is a huge amount to have jumped in a very short space of time. And that's taken a lot of work and a lot of focus. And it's only because of your guys' support that we've managed to do that. Of course, at the same time, we've taken on premises and we've taken on new staff and we've built our little world from what started this year as a very, very, very small company and kind of converted that into what's rapidly becoming a very big kind of entity in comparison to where it was. You know, no fear if you're a big boy watching this. We've got a long way to go before we're kind of up there with the biggest of the bigs. But in comparison to where we started at the beginning of the year, it's been a roller coaster. It's been amazing, and it's your lot's support that's made it possible and achievable. But it does mean when it comes to things like Christmas, it hasn't even been thought of. I genuinely could be, you know, if you had a really good sleep, and you know you wake up some days from that really good sleep, and you kind of think, where am I? What's going on? Where are we in the world? You could quite easily convince me it was May. I wouldn't have a clue. If it wasn't cold, I'd think it was May, because I think May was the last time I knew what was going on in the world. But that isn't a complaint. It's actually just a really lovely world that we live in, and kind of a lovely bubble that we've kind of created and get to play in every day. And I wouldn't change it for all the tea in China. I wouldn't. I adore our world. But it does mean I'm a bit behind for Christmas. So we're going to lift this off just so you can see the difference. Again, a bit like when we was doing the colouring earlier, because this is what tricked me with Lynn's. If we have a little look here, I'm going to go for it. We're going to be naughty. If we look at that, lovely, very nice, very, very interesting, very nice colour. But let's go back a sec. Let's leave that where it was for the second. Let's bring in our clear texture paste again. And this clear texture paste has actually got a little bit of pink in it from somewhere. I don't know where. So just so we don't contaminate anything too much, we'll mix that little bit of pink in. Oh, it looks like jelly. I don't know why. Okay, but what we're going to do now is we're going to bring this texture paste over the top. Now, the more we work this, and this goes back actually, do you remember when we did one of our earlier demos? I said to you, if we was working with a water reactive medium, we would start to mix them, we would start to blend them, we would start to move them. Oxide inks, distress inks, we know this, they're water reactive. So the minute we start applying our clear texture paste to these, the minute we're going to start to see them blend, we're going to start to see them move. We're going to start to see them move and jump from one little dotty bit to another little dotty bit and give us some great tone, a great point of difference. So I'm going to see, can we, and you'd never do this if you was doing this, I hope. This isn't a wise move, this is a daft move. So what I'm going to try and do, is we're going to move these two out of the way. And we're going to pull this bit back. Look at the difference that texture paste has created. Now, can you, I don't think you can see that. I'm going to lift this up. Honestly, never do this in the middle of doing it when you're at home. That's not a wise move at all. But we're going to remove this so I can try and lift it up and give it a wiggle. We don't need it. It's not the end of the world. It was just to show you a technique, really. But it was something that I see on that card and thought, I don't know how she's done that, and I need to experiment. So I wanted to share it with you in case you too had seen that card. But look how glossy and blended and beautiful these little like pebbles look now in comparison to if we go over to this side. There's no gloss there. They're fine, they're nice, but there's no gloss. There's no blending. But you go over that side, all that glossiness, all that blendy bit, all because we've added that clear texture base onto it and blended it through. I thought that was very lovely, and I thought that the way Lynn had done that with our gorgeous Carlos the Chameleon really set that off and really gave that little bit of sheen and shimmer that Carlos very much needed in his background. And all that is once again, distress inks blended through the stencil and then added over the top with that clear texture paste to just activate it, move it around a bit and give a bit of a different pattern to it. Now, if it's okay with you guys, I think we will leave you in peace for this evening. So just before we go, let's do a quick run through of this brand new collection whilst Pete picks his winner, because it is all about giving away those creations so far that we've made this evening. But I will just show you once again all of the bits and pieces in the collection in case you've forgot any. If you have any questions, please let us know and I'll do my very best to answer them for you before we go. Now, in Francois' brand new collection, there are two dies. There is the A6 numbers die set and there is the funky frame die set. Those are both $14.99 recommended retail. There are then two stencils. We've got our balloons and we've got our funky dots. These again are a great essential to have because as we can see, they're going to come in time after time. Now you imagine that background that we just did in the balloons, because that glossy finish is going to look like a balloon. We should have done that, shouldn't we? Why did I not think of this a moment ago? Wouldn't have that looked wowie to have had blended beautiful balloons? But just because I didn't do it doesn't mean you can't. I also think embossing that is going to look gorgeous too. So I'm shame we didn't get to that this evening, but lots we can do with that in the future, I'm sure. We then have our Time to Party pad, which again, lots and lots of goodness in that one, whether we go for the changing rooms backgrounds or those beautiful party popper backgrounds. Both are going to come in time after time throughout the year for every single occasion and season. And in that pad, you've got 24 double-sided sheets, 6 designs, 4 sheets of each, recommended retail price $10.99. Then, of course, when we are talking woodware, it is all about the stamps. So there are 8 stamps in this release, all priced at $8.99, recommended retail price. And we go all the way from pole dancing sloths, apparently. Thank you, Kim, I believe. All the way through to our funky fishes, Tony, Crazy Bird, Eduardo the elephant, Carlos the chameleon, our numbers set, and of course, our very important balloon set that's going to help complete the set. So that gives you 8 different stamp sets, all recommended retail price of $8.99 each. Now, once again, to give you an idea, all of these goodies are going to be available from our stockists as of 10 AM tomorrow morning. And those stockists are Dragon's Papercraft, Cheshire Crafts, The Stamp Pad, Hazel's Crafts, Out of Town Crafts, The Art of Craft, Julia Watts Crafts, Affordable Crafting, Into Craft, The Stamp Hut, Craft Mania, and Hobby Maker. And if you're looking for these internationally, then check out the Paper and Ink Boutique in Canada. If you have any questions or you struggle to get hold of any of these items or you need any help or any assistance whatsoever, then as always, pop us a message, write us a comment on a post, send a smoke signal, whatever you need to do. We are always here in one format or another to try and help you. Or of course, appear on one of our many lives and ask us here, because we are always around to help in any way, shape or form that we can. Now, coming up next in our kind of inspiration overload world, we've got Gwen back with you on Thursday at 7 PM. Now, Gwen's 7 PM show this week, there are 2 things worth mentioning. One's very cool, one's kind of funny. Gwen has been with us this weekend for our demo, and we said to Gwen, whenever you do a live, and she knew this, we supplied the equipment, but we knew that there was a problem. There's been this hissing and huzzing and fuzzing and noise, and I know a few of you have commented on it, and we've been desperately trying to rack our brains to work out what was going on. We all confess here we are useless with technology, and I mean useless, useless, useless. So the microphone that we sent to Gwen to use, she's been using it, you can see she's wearing it. We couldn't work out why it wasn't working, why it wasn't cutting out the fuzz you could hear from the fans of the laptop. It turns out after many, many, many months, the lead that we supplied to poor Gwen that she's been plugging in is the wrong lead in the wrong hole. And the mic might as well have been in the other world, on another planet. Anywhere but with Gwen, because it wasn't doing its job, it wasn't connecting to the computer, so you were only listening to the mic within the computer. I know this is all techie, it went over my head too, but in short, hopefully on Thursday we have now fixed the problem. We've gone from a black lead to a white lead, it's got different ends, we don't know why, but hopefully we're fingers crossing that it should take away that noise for you. So Thursday night, join Gwen, we can all be with her. There's a 50-50 chance whether it's going to work, 50-50 chance if we made it better or worse, 50-50 chance if it won't make any difference whatsoever. But Thursday night we will see for sure. So join us for the experiment of the microphone. On top of that, And Gwen is getting her hands on crafty concoctions for the very first time. Now, Gwen has been very, very, very impatiently waiting for this to arrive in the country for us to have enough stock after the shows, after our Stockists launch, to be able to actually give Gwen a set to play with. And she literally got them Saturday morning. Friday night. So, on Thursday, she's going to be live with us to bring you her interpretation with this product range. And I have a feeling that when we put this little lot in the hands of the mixing bowl that is Gwen's mind, she is going to come up with some very interesting ideas. So if you are around Thursday evening from 7 p.m, join Gwen for what is going to be her last live of the year. So you're going to have to come and join her for that, aren't you? 7 p.m. Thursday. Speaking of last things of the year, while we've got you, our very last show of the year is coming up on Hobby Maker as well. I am back with you on the 30th of December for the very last show this year, and it will be the best of Jamie Rogers crafts, which is great because it means that we're going to be bringing you collections that have not yet aired on Hobby Maker. So if you've only discovered the wonderful world of Jamie Rogers crafts since our arrival on Hobby Maker, we were going for a year, if not longer, before we got there, and we've got some amazing products to share with you that you may not have seen. So join us on Hobby Maker on the 30th of December when we will be sharing some inspiration with those with you. Okay, independent adjudicator hostage in the corner that suddenly seems to have turned French. Are you ready to declare a winner this evening?
Oh, I think I am. I need to...
Let me find my button before they get flashes of all sorts. There we go. Yeah, I found my button. Have you found your button?
I found my button.
Are you ready? High tech this live, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? But no, thank you all for joining us this evening and coming up with or sharing with us your crafty resolutions.
Did we have any others come in?
We had a few, but I forgot them. Naughty star. We haven't had many stars for a while, have we?
You were fraudulent with the stars, so I gave up. I had about 700 stars and you only had one.
It's just how it works.
I
do what the people ask.
Next year, what we need to do you remember, I'm sorry guys, tangent time. We never watched it, but did Saturday Night Takeaway with Ant and Dec, did they not have Kirsty, somebody, and I've forgot her name, I had it when I started this chat, who was like their referee? Didn't she keep track of the challenges they did? Kirsty, she was a news reporter, or not news reporter, sports reporter. Oh, come on. Don't look at me like this. Kirsty, something. But she was there and they would do a challenge each week and she would declare the winner.
Okay.
The short of the story is we need an independent
adjudicator. So
that
we need
actually
volunteers.
Dishes out the stars.
Pretty
Somebody
please.
to keep count of the stars legitimately, not fraudulently like our supposed independent adjudicator.
Trying to find the sound effect for the naughtiness. Anyway, thank you all for joining us tonight and sharing with us your resolutions. The winner this evening goes to... Emma Goffin. So congratulations, Emma. She said her resolution is to make our first handmade cards. Never made cards before. Oh, that's quite good. Likes to learn. So
how lovely. We need to see what you do.
So yeah, if you want to drop us an email, jamierogerscrafts@hotmail.com, we'll have those bits sent out for you.
Oh, congratulations. That's lovely. What a lovely deserving winner. And nice to hear that we're kind of popping you on the journey into the world of crafting, or card making at least. If you do get creative, first card, first 1,000th card, first 1,000,000th card, doesn't matter. We would love to see what you create if you'd like to share them with us on our group, which is Creative Expressions Official Group on Facebook. It's your place to ask us questions, talk to our DT and share with us what you've been creating, because we do all like to see what you've been up to, and especially if it is your first card too. No judgment, it'd just be lovely to see you share it with us. And if you want to ask questions and you'd like support or ideas, then of course that's the place to be as well. Julie says, Jamie versus Pete. I feel we could do this. I went in kind of the showdowny version. It could be more like court documents, Jamie versus Pete. I'm after you for your fraudulent activity with the stars in 2025.
We could have Judge Julie. She could be there, Julie.
Judge Julie, the independent adjudicator for Jamie versus Pete. We'll work on this. I'm sure there's somebody we can rope into being our star keeper for the year. We'll see. Somebody who does it legitimately.
Time we said goodnight, I think.
Okay, all right. Thank you all very much for joining us. From me, good night this evening.
And good night from me. Oui, oui. Au revoir. It should be, isn't it? Somebody else.
We're
I don't
going.
know.
You
Night,
get to go.
guys.
I'm stuck here. See you all soon. Thank you for joining us. Night.
Good night.